All right, so we're going to talk about a brand new set of ReBlooming Daylilies. Now, let me tell you, there are thousands upon thousands of varieties of daylilies out there, starting with the little gold stellas that you find at your local garden shop that are pretty, but they don't rebloom. They do a flower, and then they do another stem does a flower, and each one just blooms one time. So you're waiting a long time in between color on something like that. This is what we call a ReBlooming Daylily, and these are not little miniature Stella daylily blooms. These are big, fat, colorful party blooms that are going to keep coming and coming all summer long, and so easy to grow. So 3 payments of $16 with free shipping. The daylily is an American gardening favorite. Let's talk to Stephanie again. Hi, Stephanie. Come on in, honey. Tell us about this new set. What am I getting?
I would love to. I know you're an avid gardener, but this collection is really perfect for those of us who love to garden, but also those who are just kind of dabbling into gardening. Maybe you've never really planted a perennial in your garden bed before. This collection is made for you, and it's going to set your daylily garden above all the rest. Because like you said, we're familiar with those tiny, they're about 3-inch large yellow daylily flowers that are only going to bloom for you once, and then they're going to die, and you're going to get flowers for a few weeks. But this collection is so special because it is comprised of 10 different ReBlooming daylilies. And, you know, I would love to go through our lifestyle images with you, Carolyn, because the story behind this collection is really special for our family. My Uncle Eric, he traveled over to Holland where we get, you know, a lot of our plants, and he was walking truly these daylily fields with our growers, and he was just enamored by all of the flowers that he saw. And he wanted to bring, you know, enough of each of these colors that you're seeing for their own individual collections. But, you know, most of these flowers, Carolyn, they don't even have names. They're still just a number because they're brand new. They're still in the ground today. So we told the growers, okay, give us what we can, and let's just make a beautiful mixed bag of all of these colors and fragrances and, you know, textures of the daylily and bring them to QVC. And so that's exactly what this collection is. You're going to be receiving, no 2 collections will be the same. You'll be getting, you know, 10 different types of ReBlooming daylilies. Some will be bicolored, like you see here, that beautiful mass planting in front of the hydrangea. Some will even be fragrant. So not only will you have ReBlooming daylilies, but you're getting kind of like the cream of the crop. These are the ones that you will probably not be able to find anywhere but here at QVC.
So they're all reblooming, and some are actually reblooming and fragrant, correct?
That's right.
So the reblooming and fragrant combination is super rare. When you talk about daylilies, what is it like a part of 1% of them do both of those things? Yes,
exactly.
So if you can find a fragrant daylily that's also a rebloomer, you are in luck, and you're getting some of those in this set, along with all the others that are all reblooming. So Stephanie, let's compare like a regular daylily. I mean, it's called a daylily because the flower blooms for a day, right?
Exactly.
And then it goes away and more are coming out. So with a ReBlooming daylily, what's the difference between just a regular daylily plant?
That's a great question. So these are really farm fresh, healthy bulbs that you'll be starting with. And this is going to give you, Carolyn, flowers from the beginning of summer all the way to your frost, whereas a traditional daylily is only going to give you flowers for a few weeks over the summer. And what's so great about this collection is it's a 10-piece, first of all. And one of the plants that the tubers that you'll be receiving, the very first season, Carolyn, is going to give you this collection about 300 to 400 flowers, which sounds like a lot. But then come the second season, you're going to double that to about 1,000. And then by the time these are fully grown, third season in your garden, you'll have up to 3,000 daylily flowers all summer long into the fall. So truly, you will just have a sea of color. And I wanted to mention, you know, I said this is the perfect beginner plant, and that's because the daylily is considered kind of the backbone of the American garden. My grandfather used to say, they're too dumb to die. So if you just threw this over your shoulder and it landed somewhere in the garden, chances are it's going to take and it's going to produce these beautiful flowers. So they can handle the really cold winters, the hot, hot drought summers. I remember growing up in Indiana, which I know you're from there as well. My parents had a mass planting of daylilies up like at the top of the driveway by the road where no hose was reaching.
Right.
And they looked beautiful all summer long because they are so drought tolerant.
And that's where you put them. You put them when you have a limited amount of water in that area, or you aren't somebody who's going to have time to water and fertilize regularly, daylilies will thrive. They are really very difficult to kill.
Yes.
They like any kind of soil. Now, for the best results, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For the best results, if you have soil that's really clay and rock and sand filled, maybe add a little topsoil to it, or as your brother says, do the leaves.
The compost.
With leaves, and you can always make your soil better. Everything's going to do better in better soil and with regular watering, but these are not going to like fade off and go away if you forget to water them or if you don't have the perfect soil. And they're also going to give you more and more blooms and flowers and stems every year. And yes, you don't have to dig these up. If you live someplace where it gets really, really super cold, they will thrive underground. My area here in the Philadelphia area, we've had a fairly mild winter so far, but my daylilies are just coming up like crazy. I've got patches of green leaves coming out all over the place already, and they've been out since like, I don't know, like the second week of February. So they are just ready to go, and all my daylilies, by the way, are Robertas. They look stunning. I have them in the front near the walkway. I've got them out in the far corners of the garden where I don't have hoses to reach to water them. They look great everywhere. And by the way, Stephanie, let's tell everybody too, what if I have a super hot sunny yard, and what if I have a really shady yard? What should I do?
Absolutely. Yep, so the daylilies will thrive in neglect, like you were saying. So if you have a spot of your garden that gets really hot where nothing else is really going to be successful, plant these daylilies. Now, they're not like a coral bell that can take a full day of shade. They do need at least a half day to a full day of sun, Carolyn, and that's just going to ensure that you get these bright, beautiful colors in the flowers. But imagine, you have a place far away from where your hose is. Don't put your hydrangeas there. Put these daylilies, something that can really handle a drought environment, and will be giving you thousands of flowers by the third season. And these are not the traditional daylily that maybe you have seen, or even along the highways that people plant because they are so drought tolerant. These are the grower's best. And what we mean by that is we traveled to Holland and we spent time walking the fields of our growers in Holland, and we told them, we would love to bring all of these. And they said, well, we don't have enough of that. So they just took all that they could and they put them into one big mix. And so this collection is 10 different ReBlooming Daylilies.
And so you're getting something really, really special. It's not like two colors are all one color, or you have to buy 10 separate plants to get all these colors. You're buying one set, you get 10, and each one is going to give you hundreds and hundreds more flowers every single season. So you can split these. A lot of people do. They find that their daylilies propagate so much, and they get so much bigger every year that they just split them, cut them, and replant them in a different part of the garden. They're perfectly happy if you do that as well. And again, remember, some of these are fragrant, which is really rare.
It really is.
Okay, Stephanie, hold on. Really? Fewer than 900 are left for the season.
For the season.
So if you're a beginner, this is a no-brainer. If you are somebody who's an avid gardener, this is a daylily that's really, really special. And by the way, giant flowers, not the teeny little yellow ones that you typically see. So Stephanie, thank you. Wow, these are super popular.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Now we start